2:03 a.m. May 10th, 2025. 11 Pakistani airbases burning in 10 hours. A missile that gave Pakistan 30 seconds of warning. A drone that waited for its target. A bomb from a plane that never crossed the border. A missile that took out Pakistan's eyes in the sky. And a weapon that was never fired. This is how India's sword cut. First, the sword that flies faster than its own warning. BrahMos, Mach 2.8, the fastest cruise missile in the world. Sea skimming, 10 meters above the water. The Indian Army fires it from trucks, the Navy from destroyers, the Air Force from the Sukhoi 30. May 10th, 3 a.m. Su-30s rose from Halwara, from Bhuj, from Adampur. They never crossed the border. 11 Pakistani airbases hit in 10 hours. Nur Khan, Sargodha, Bholari, Jacobabad, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukkur, Skardu, Rafiqui, Murid, Sialkot, Gujranwala. At Bholari, Pakistan's Erieye AWACS, destroyed. 30 seconds. That's all the warning Pakistan had. A war that could have ended the world. Stopped by precision. Before BrahMos flew, something smaller flew first. SkyStriker, Harop, loitering munitions. Half drone, half missile. They do not strike on launch. They wait. The moment a Pakistani radar lit up, they dived. At Chunian, a Chinese YLC-8E anti-stealth radar. $20 million. Destroyed. Lahore, Pasrur, Sialkot. 4 more nodes, gone. By the time BrahMos arrived, Pakistan's air defense was already half blind. But the loudest strikes were not the ones that won the war. 3 nights before the airbases burned, the real war had already begun. May 7th, 1 a.m. Indian Rafales took off from Ambala. They carried 2 French weapons, Scalp, a stealth cruise missile, Hammer, a precision glide bomb. The Rafales never crossed the border. 25 minutes. 9 terror sites. Bahawalpur, Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters. Murid, Lashkar-e-Taiba headquarters. Muzaffarabad, Kotli, Sialkot, Bimba. Terror infrastructure eliminated. From planes that never crossed the line. But the deadliest strike of the war was none of these. It was a missile no one saw coming. From Adampur Air Base, Indian Punjab, 300 kilometers into Pakistani airspace, a Saab Erieye early warning aircraft fell out of the sky. Pakistan's air defense went deaf. The weapon? India's S-400, the shield from our last episode, used not to defend, but to attack. And behind it all, the weapon that was never fired, Agni V, 5,000 kilometers of range. Every city in Pakistan, every city in China, India joined the 5 nations with this reach. The Agni was never launched. It did not need to be. The sword never drawn is the sharpest of all. 5 swords, 1 doctrine, the patient drones that blinded the network, the stealth missiles that hit what no other could reach, the supersonic cruise that leveled the airbases, the shield that became a sword that took the eye out of the sky, the shadow that ensured none of it escalated. 5 swords, 1 India. If this is the sword, see how it was paired with the shield. And each of these swords already has its own story. BrahMos, Agni 5, Agni 6, all 4 linked below. And next, the eye that watches over both, India's 3rd pillar, coming soon. This is the Terminal Intelligence Bureau. Like, share, and subscribe for more.